So let's start with talking about all these tools that are out there with reference to law enforcement and what people keep referring to over the years, which I think the definition is, or the term is misplaced because there is no such thing as a less than lethal weapon. It's just no, it's less than likely, but there is a chance of being killed with any weapon, whether it be unintentional, where it's designed supposedly just to injure somebody. There's always a chance that someone can be killed with any weapon, whether it be made for killing or to stop a threat or to maim somebody. Everybody's built differently. Everybody's bodies are not the same, and the resistance to any type of inertia or inertia-driven weapon systems or electric systems, like the taser and all that, people die all the time from it. It's just that I don't know how, but the algorithms are controlled and people receive less information about the deaths or the permanent injuries as a result of what is termed less than lethal or less lethal. So there's a new thing out called the G.L.O.V.E. It's not new to me. Actually, I worked in a place where it was like piloted about 3-4 years ago. And now I can give you pretty decent information with reference to the G.L.O.V.E. First off, it's not a cure-all or something that's going to revolutionize use of force. It's not. In fact, what I learned from the deployment of the G.L.O.V.E. in detention operations, in the private for-profit detention operation, what I learned was that the G.L.O.V.E. Has a lot of flaws. That invention has a lot of issues with it. It breaks. There's some human error issues with it, and people can get hurt or something very serious can happen to somebody when using the G.L.O.V.E. because it's got that neuromuscular inhibitor. It's got that where the electricity runs through the muscle and causes some type of, kind of like similar to one of those TENS things that you use, for working out. Only thing, it's like way like 100 times more powerful when it comes to the way it's deployed. And you put that thing on the wrong person or in the wrong body part of a person, it would be almost like using an AED or automatic external defibrillator. And I'll tell you why. Not everybody's built the same way. And some people are predisposed or have underlying medical issues that may even not even know they have, that can respond to this in a way like, for instance, triggering a heart attack or clenching or something physiological in their body. What I saw as an administrator in corrections when it was deployed as pretty much a pilot program was that they break very easily. They're very cost intensive when it comes to repairs and maintenance. It does work with calculated use of force. Like, for instance, you're doing like trying to move somebody from one point to the other, and you already have it all planned out, and you're using it as a tool alone just to help this along. It does work for that, but it does not work for immediate use of force, or I don't believe it works, for instance, or it would be helpful in the community. In fact, I think that the G.L.O.V.E. would escalate an incident. I think that people using the G.L.O.V.E., whether they be in federal law enforcement, state, whatever, and they put their gloves on somebody, I think that it would result as from my observations, for instance, what ICE did with the Preddy situation, and they shot that guy dead on the street. I think the glove on, let's just say, a government agent could result in a shooting, because the dynamics of, or the movement and interplay of people touching each other with this glove. Remember how electricity works. When you touch one thing, that current runs through. They say it doesn't, but it will, especially sweating and moist or wet areas. That's how electricity works. And so I personally think that the U.S. government is chasing a dream with reference to finding some type of a tool that they think they can use on, and the way I'm looking at it, they're trying to use this on community members, family members. It has been proven, we've seen it in the media, where government agents have pepper sprayed children and done all kinds of crazy stuff. And so this would be adding to a toolbox of chaos. Not helpful. The glove is a great tool, probably in corrections, because, like I said, for calculated use of force, where you're moving someone from one point to another and you're just trying to gain compliance, and you don't want to necessarily hit them or strike them, and you just want to move their arms or something, yeah, that's cool. But you start putting that thing around somebody's chest, you start having a person that has these underlying medical issues, you're gonna kill them. And at the end, the glove, that company, is just gonna make a crap load of money and walk away from it. They'll shut down and you'll never hear from them again, or they'll sell to a bigger company like Axon, and Axon will make use of that technology and implement it as well in Axon stuff. But I don't see this as sustainable or a good thing. And the way I'm looking at it, as being a career federal employee, someone had served many years in government, is that I want to know who the investors are in the glove. And is, like, for instance, people in private industry, specifically in prisons and private prisons and all this stuff that's been going on with the Department of Homeland Security. Is there some investors there that are connected with federal government officials that are pushing this along, trying to get this approved? I bet you anything ICE has already signed off and purchased many of these gloves, G.L.O.V.E devices, and it's worth looking into. Where's this money going? What is the pricing? And is it really worth it? It's one of those things, I personally believe, that if you were to implement this kind of thing out in the streets, that you're more than likely to cause more chaos and disruption in the community versus actually de-escalating anything. The glove doesn't de-escalate. The glove causes people to panic. You see them screaming. They freak out. It causes severe anxiety. A lot of things. These are the things that I observed from people or staff using the glove. Also, the glove is it's a glove, literally, and if it gets wet, there's a lot of things that you have to look into. That is it's worth being concerned about. I don't personally have anything against the company. That's great. It's an American company. They're trying to do or implement new technologies, but I don't think this technology is appropriate for the streets. This is probably more something that can be used in corrections, like I said, and that it's used under strict protocols only when required. For instance, when you're dealing with somebody who is refusing to move from a jail cell or something, and you need to move them to another part and they're being non-compliant. Somebody who's got their hand outside of a food slot and they're keeping the staff from closing the food slot so they can do whatever they're doing, the glove is helpful there. You know, when you're dealing with somebody who's dealing like that has severe mental health, I don't think the glove is going to be helpful. In fact, the glove is going to just make things worse. And the worst part about it is everybody's going to be like, oh, we're only going to use the glove, and all the other training and technology that had been built up through the past 40 years is going to go right out the window, and everybody's reliant on the glove to the point where people are really getting hurt, and things go from basic routine de-escalation and use of force, calculated use of force based on objective reasonableness, to where now you go to the most extreme because you've eliminated your tools in your toolbox, and you keep resorting to something that your leadership at the highest level, who are literally bought into this glove idea, are pushing along. Bad idea, and it really, I think the ACLU has a point, and there's a lot of organizations out there that have a point with reference to these concerns. And so, if you have any questions about my experiences with the glove, I can share them with you. It's definitely something worth pushing away from if you work in Department of Homeland Security or the federal government, and really understanding who is motivating this and who is invested in the glove that is associated with the contracts, because this is going to be just like any other government contract situation where we find out that there's other people associated or connected with this. And I would say this is born from and came from private prison organizations, because I know the people that actually kept pushing this along and implementing this glove in private prisons as an option when it came to use of force. Another thing is, when the glove fails, what I've seen is staff go to using pepper spray and batons and other stuff in conjunction with the glove, and that's just as bad too. It's just a complete bad idea, and I think it's worth judges, lawyers, attorneys, everybody to at a legal level, and also doctors and physicians to really understand how these types of implementations may cause major disruption when it comes to the idea of use of force, and how less than lethal is not less than lethal, it's less than likely. And that term less than lethal should be eliminated, because we're finding out more and more that people are dying from the use of less than lethal, and it's not accurate anymore. So look forward to your thoughts. Bye-bye.